and not just any part. We find her in the deepest, truest remnants of our souls, always there to remind us, when we make the journey, of who we are on the inside. One of the paradoxes is that the worst times in our lives, times when we felt out of control, in grief, pain and distress, can be followed by the emergence of new inspiration and energy, accompanied by determination to live a life of beauty and meaning. This is a rebirth by the dark goddess. Our culture has not taught us how to listen to the dark goddess, how to journey towards her, or how to integrate her wisdom into our lives. But instructions remain in myths from other times and places. Many women have found support and guidance in the stories of the goddesses. In Greek myths, both Persephone and Psyche journey to the underworld. In Sumerian mythology, Inanna, known as Ishtar in Babylon, is famous for her visit to the dark goddess. From these stories, we can learn much of the journey to the underworld and the return. Journey to the Dark Goddess will focus on feminine myths of descent, although these stories are not feminine alone. Dumazi, Inanna's lover and consort, also journeys to the underworld. Ishtar's beloved Tammuz dies ritually in her arms every year with the vegetation. And Orpheus journeys into the underworld in a Greek myth to seek his dead beloved, Eurydice. Closer to home, Jesus Christ lay dead in a cave for 3 days before rising again. Myths and stories can be read as maps of the unconscious, a Jungian collective unconscious or an individual's psyche. But they are also quite practical maps that tell us, literally, where to go, how to get there and what to do when we get there, and how to get back. Where do all these myths come from? And how could it be that they share the same basic pattern? Demetra George, in her wonderful book Mysteries of the Dark Moon, usefully points out that past humans, wherever they were on the planet, shared the same observations of natural life. People everywhere saw vegetation dying, often in winter, returning to the earth and then rising again. They observed that seeds, buried in the earth, rose up into new life. They saw the days get shorter and colder, and then, magically, mystically, turn around and get longer and warmer. They saw the moon, every month, vanish, obliterated from sight when it is too close to the sun to be seen, for 3 nights, then to appear again on the other side of the sun. Reborn, you might say. These observations are blueprints of the myths and explain why so many cultures and religions share this story of death and resurrection, a journey to an impossible, almost unimagined place where something mysterious happens which leads to a return. All cultures have seen what we still see today, that humans are born, grow, get old and die, and that new humans, meanwhile, are born. The death part, or disappearing into the underworld, is still mysterious and unknown, but we can clearly see from the moon, the seasons and the sun that the return will occur. If the return is in a body other than our own, our children's or grandchildren's, or simply other members of our tribe or village, surely that only deepens the mystery. A basic law of visits to the underworld is that you return changed. The underworld gets some bad press. We associate it with helplessness, pain, fear, depression and despair. This is at least partly because we so strongly resist and delay visiting these dark and difficult places of confronting the truth of our lives. We have a backlog to deal with when we are finally forced into it. This bad press is due to our unfamiliarity with the terrain and to underlying values and beliefs our culture holds, such as growth is good, diminishment is bad, and staying in control is necessary at all times. We know these values depict only half the story. Of course, diminishment is necessary,